All right, hey nerds. So, gonna talk about a clip from Alex O'Connor, British philosophy YouTuber, this is from his debate with Ben Shapiro. Of course, the really annoying squeaky voice Ben Shapiro, who talks really fast in a squeaky high pitched voice, and is a conservative political pundit and political YouTuber. And he of course like invented the word Judeo-Christian and thinks everything is Judeo-Christian, and Judeo-Christianity will fix everything and solve all the world's problems. And the like the Jewish texts. I think it's the first four books of the Bible, which are the first four books of the Old Testament, I should say, are literally true, and they can tell us all we need to know about morality. And I wouldn't say that I'm a militant atheist like I used to be, like Sam Harris, and I think Alex O'Connor used to be. I'd say he's probably more of an agnostic atheist like I am now, but he still has really good and harsh criticisms of religion in general. So he sounds like a militant atheist this way, and like his criticisms are so good of the Old Testament here, morality in the Old Testament, and all the contradictions that he just renders Ben Shapiro speechless. So we'll get into
A
it.
society that today decides that religion throughout its history has been wrong about the position of women in society, wrong about the mortal fate of practicing homosexuals, wrong about the position of the earth in relation to the sun, wrong about the ownership of other human beings as private property, now has to contend with a religious tradition that doesn't come to us and say, well, maybe we were wrong about these things. But no, these are all our things after all. I know that St. Paul says, I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over a man. Rather, she should remain silent, for Adam was formed first, then Eve. But don't you know that the social justice movement is essentially Judeo-Christian in origin? I know that the Old Testament not only explicitly condones the ownership of other human beings as private property, but gives detailed instructions about exactly how to buy and indeed take them. But don't you know that the abolitionist movement was essentially Judeo-Christian in origin? Yes, I know that Galileo was shown the instruments of torture for having the temerity to suggest that the Earth might orbit the sun. But don't you know that the scientific revolution, which he authored, was essentially Judeo-Christian in origin? I'd find it funny if it wasn't so offensive to the people who established these very developments against the very religious traditions that now want to claim them as their own. A society that today
Yeah,
decides that
so
religion
that's definitely true, and obviously there are a million contradictions in the Bible, and like not literally everything, but almost every moral justification is contradicted. And you can say, I think the one of the best well, actually, a few of the best examples there are, you know, the model of the universe or getting reversed, I should say, in that, and science discovering that the Earth revolves around the sun rather than the sun revolving around the Earth, and everything revolving around the Earth. And it's like people figured this out in the Bible because it says so in the Bible that uh, that the Earth is the center of the universe, basically. So the Bible said that, and then science disproved it. But also, the scientific revolution would not have happened without religion. So Judeo-Christianity is responsible for the incorrect theory of the universe, but also for the science that led to the correct theory of the universe. So how can Judeo-Christianity, as Ben Shapiro says, be responsible for killing people for positing the correct theory of the universe, positing the incorrect theory of the universe, and then eventually later taking credit for the scientific revolution that led to the overturning of that theory. And another one is slavery too. Like, a lot of people know, of course, that, as he was saying, there are specific instructions in the Bible on how to keep slaves and how to treat them, and nowhere in the Bible does it say that keeping slaves is immoral. But also, there are passages from the Bible that were used by the abolitionist movement, which were very helpful in ending slavery in the antebellum South in America. Of course, that was ended by the Civil War when Abraham Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation happened. But yeah, so of course, like, to me, he's not necessarily proving that religion is wrong. I don't have this militant atheist view that Sam Harris do, and a lot of people do, that religion is wrong because there's some brutal shit and brutal instructions in the Bible. you can say that. I mean, you can say that about Islam, as I've gotten into a lot before too. You can say that about any religious text. But I think the point is that any religious text and any religion has both good prescriptions and bad prescriptions, and prescriptions that were seen as moral back then, but today are immoral. And as Alex O'Connor also pointed out in another section of this debate with Ben Shapiro, like if you're it depends on what book you're talking about. It doesn't it doesn't really make a difference to in my opinion. Like, to me, this doesn't really necessarily point out that religion is wrong and always gets it wrong. It's that religion can cause people to do good inspire people to do good things and inspire people to do bad things, and it all depends on the person and what they're using that religion for. And since it's a religious text that contradicts itself all over the place, people can easily use the Bible to justify their confirmation bias and their preconceptions. So yes, obviously Alex O'Connor gives a fucking brilliant critique of Ben Shapiro's really boring literalist view on so-called Judeo-Christianity. But I think the underlying point, to me at least, in all this is that the Bible and all religious texts have very contradictory advice, particularly the Bible, perhaps. So saying that the Bible is right or wrong is actually kind of the wrong question to me. Religion isn't right or wrong. Religion is neither right or wrong, nor uh, is neither right or wrong, or both right and wrong, depending on how you look at it. So Christianity and religion has flaws, but it also has good aspects. So there are pros and cons to all religions, obviously.